Hello student, first year student. Today I will going to show you how to familiarize with a capacitor to KGP IIT website. Firstly, you need to copy this link from IIT KGP to any of your browser in the computer. The link is vlabs.iitkgp.ac.in/be/exp2/index.html and then click enter. You will find the actual page where they have been given the demonstration familiarization with capacitors. Under this page you will get three main tab. One is theory, another is quiz, and third one is references books. In the theory you will get the objective of the experiment, where it has been provided the definition of capacitors and name its units, explain how to capacitor can be constructed to give a particular value of a capacitance, explain why the capacitor has minimum working voltage, determine the experimentally energy stored in the capacitors, identify the value and the type of capacitors, and the polarity of the terminals. What is capacitor? It is one of the passive components like resistors. Capacitor is also known as condenser. Capacitor is generally used to store the charge. The charge is stored in the form of electrical field, and capacitors play a major role in many electrical and electronic circuits. This is a conventional electrolyte, also polarized capacitor, because it has a negative polarity in the body, and every capacitor have manufacturer have mentioned the capacitance value as well as the working voltage, maximum working voltage. This is a conventional construction of the capacitor. The two plates connected to the two different electrode, and in between this plate they have been used different kind of dielectric. Maybe it's air, it's oil, it's paper, polyester. According to the dielectric, the capacitors have a different name. So here the basic construction of the capacitor, the two parallel metal plates separated by an insulating material. The insulating material may be air, already I told you, paper, polyester, thin film of these materials. An insulator is a material which is non-conducting, that is shows a high resistance to letting to the electrolyte used as a air and other type of oil, paper, and anything. This is a internal structure of a conventional electrolyte material. You clearly seen that there will be a metal plate and dielectric material pasted all together and rolled up. According to the length of the metal plate, the capacitance value will vary, and according to the dielectric material, properties of dielectric material, it can defined by a maximum working voltage. A capacitor is so called because it has a capacity to store the charge, just like a beaker storing a liquid, and capacitors are marked with a value which indicates their capacitance, their ability to store charge. Capacitance can be though of as the electrical capacity of the body. It is measured in farads. Generally or practically, the farad is a very big unit, so in daily uses, daily application, farad directly not has been used. Instead of that, maximum you can find in a practical field or market when you familiarize with the capacitors throughout the different project, you will find maximum is in microfarad. I like to say that it about 6800 microfarad or something like that. Maximum you will get 15,000 microfarad, not more than that. So 15,000 microfarad is also very big in size. So you can easily assume if it is a farad value, then how bigger it can be. Now look at the note of the maximum working voltage, where they have said that if the voltage across a capacitor is too high, the insulator between the two plates falls to insulate. That means I already mentioned you the material or properties of the dielectric. The capacitor maximum working value has been defined. So if the input voltage or applied voltage is above the specification, then what will happen? The insulator between two plates has been failed to insulate. So current will be flowed from one electrode to another electrode or one plate to another plate. So capacitor act as a short circuit component or low value resistance component. So always keep in mind, do not use any capacitor at least two-third of the specified, more than two-third of the specified value by the manufacturer. And the charges passes from one plate to other plate. Okay, already I have told you, explained you. A good rule of thumb here, you can see, a good rule of thumb is never place a voltage across the capacitor which exceed about two-third of this value, especially for alternating currents. That means AC applications. So now we will go to some mathematical notation about capacitor. What it can say? It says that a static description of a way of the way of a capacitor behaves would be like Q. Q means Coulomb is equal to C into V. C is your capacitance and V is the applied voltage, where Q is the total charge, which unit is Coulomb, and C is the measure how long the big capacitor, that means your capacitance value, and V is the voltage across it. Okay, for DC application. But when capacitor is used in AC application, that will be your derivative. A dynamic description, that is one of the one of the change with time would be. But in case of AC application, a dynamic description, that is one that change with that time, would be to say I is equal to C into dV by dt. So what is dV by dt? dV by dt is delta V, that means change in voltage, by change in time, delta T, that means change in time. So this is just the time derivative of the static operation of C, where C is the constant with the respect to time and I is the rate of change which charge flows. This is essentially says the bigger the current, the faster the capacitor's voltage change. Now the classification of capacitors. Some kind of capacitors having a polarization and another type of have no polarization. So in this category of unpolarized section, you will find ceramic, multi-layer, polyester film according to the dielectric properties, polypropylene, mica, and this kind of capacitors, they don't have any positive or negative electrode, that means unpolarized. And another type of polarized capacitors example is electrolyte, tantalum, and supercapacitor. Supercapacitor is nothing but a battery. So we could similarize the battery and the high value of capacitance. They have the positive and negative terminal of electrode. Basically these polarized types of capacitors always should be restricted for use in DC application, and the polarized capacitor should be independent to use any of the field, AC or DC. This is the example of the picture what the ceramic capacitor look like, and it is a different kind of value statement technology. That's clearly you can see there will be 101, 104, 331, 22J, different kind of value demarcation. I will discuss what that will. Before that, I would like to show you different kind of variable capacitor also. This is called a trimmer. Trimmer is a on-board usable variable capacitors. It look like different kind of shape, different kind of fixtures. By this screw you will rotate. If you rotate this screw, the capacitance value will change accordingly. Different color having a different code, capacitance color code. You will see there will be several plates. This common pin is connected to the rotor, and the stator is connected to these two pin. Basically these two pin are same in electrical plate, and this is the another. So your capacitor will vary from here to here, or this pin to this pin. Okay, next, this is a one kind of onboard variable capacitor called trimmer. Basically this is used in recent kind of technologies where the SMD components are used in the multi-layer PCB. This is the two electrode, this one and this one. This both two are two different electrode for this capacitor, or by a thin sharp screwdriver you will vary this rotator, and accordingly your capacitance value will change. Next, this is a conventional mechanical gang type capacitor. In the previous day, where the microelectronics technology has not come there, in that time it will be used mainly in our radio receiver, AM and FM kind of radio receivers. In these receivers, this mechanical gang has been used for tune the stations. Here, why it is called gang? Because in a common mechanical house fixture, they have been attached two different value of capacitor. Suppose this part will vary from 5 to 15 pf, maybe this part will vary from 20 to 30 pf, but it can vary at a time when you rotate the rotor. So these plates are connected to this rotor, and inside this plate there will be another plate called stator is connected to this common plate. And this is a fixed capacitor which is used in recent kind technology in SMD PCBs. There will be no defined lead or pin. This two metal cap has been used for soldering purpose. It's look in the picture so big, but it is actually not that. It is a few millimeters in size. It has been used in recent types of PCBs, SMD PCBs. And there will be also, here it is not seen properly, but in this body there will be the value is written with the code. That kind of code already we have seen that 101, 102, like that. I will later discuss with you. This is another kind of trimmer in different color. Here the color has actually mentioned the range of the changing values. Suppose red is for 20 picofarad, blue is yellow is for suppose 40 0 to 40 picofarad, like that. and this is also one other kind of SMD fixture, SMD console trimmer, variable capacitor. Now we will discuss how to decode this capacitance value by the numerical, this type of numerical code. 101, this is very simple. First you have to take first two digit from the left side as it is, that means 10, and the third number is defined, the number of zeros you have to add with this number, first two numbers, and after adding, that is not a numerical adding, this is a just place next to 10, you have to add 10 at the right hand side, that means your total value will now come in 100, and the unit also is picofarad for always. So as far as that, for this capacitor here it is written 22, and J is for the working voltage only, tolerance only. For this capacitor you should taken as a value of 22 pf only. This is 104, that means 10, and you have to add 4 zeros at the right hand side of the 10, so you have 1 and 5 zeros, so the whole value come in picofarad, that means 100,000 picofarad, that means you can take as a value of 100 nanofarad, or if you like to again scale this value at microfarad, then it will come at 0.1 microfarad. 331 means as the same 33 and then 10, and it will come in pf, that means 330 picofarad. This is a electrolyte capacitor, you have already seen it. It is a tantalum capacitor. Generally this kind of capacitor is in very accuracy properties, accuracy properties, and normal electrolyte having a negative polarity demarcation, and this tantalum capacitor having a positive polarity demarcation. Mainly it is used in very precise applications, as because it has very good tolerance, that means less drifting value from the specified value. And this is a conventional unpolarized capacitor. This is the numeric code. Now we will see how they decode this numeric code. A number code is often used in small capacitors where the printing is difficult, because this capacitor is so small in size, you has not able to write so many things in there. So first number is the first digit and second number is the second digit, that means 1 and 0, and then the third number is the number of zeros to give the capacitors in pf value. Ignore any letters, as they just indicate the tolerance and voltage ratings. For example, 102 means 10, and then after 2 zeros at the right hand side, and it is come with a pf unit. So it's not that 102 pf, it is actually 1000 pf, that means 1 nanofarad, or you can say 0.001 microfarad. For example, 472 means 4700 picofarad. J means 5% tolerance. This is all unpolarized categories of capacitors. This is also this capacitor has been defined by the color codes, and the color codes you have to start read from top of the color code. Okay, from here to here, from top of the color code you have to start read. That is, brown means 1, black means 0, and orange means 10 to the power 3, and the value is come in pf. Okay, and in that case where the red band is so thicker, that means consecutive 2 red band is here, so you have to consider as a first two digit is 22 and then the YOLO, that means 10 to the power 4, and all the value will come in picofarad. Now here we will discuss the different kind of capacitor connection topology. What happened when capacitor connected in series? Capacitor in series means two or more capacitors connected in a single line. The one's positive plate connected to the another negative plate of the capacitor, where the QT is the total charge, amount of total charge, and the total charge, total amount of charge is divided along all these capacitors. So that's why the equivalent capacitors equation looks like 1 by C equivalent is equal to 1 by C1, 1 by C2, and as on 1 by Cn. And this is the topology where capacitor connected in parallel. When the capacitor are connected in parallel, the total capacitance value is increased. That means in that case, when the capacitor connected in series, your effective capacitance value will be less than the least value of this network. Remember what I say? When the capacitors connected in series, your equivalent or effective capacitance of this network is below than the least number of capacitors value of this entire network. If here it is a 1 picofarad, 10 picofarad and 15 picofarad connected in series, then your effective capacitance value less than 1 picofarad. But when the capacitors are connected in parallel, just vice versa of resistance, then the effective capacitance value will be added as C1 plus C2 and C3 as far as Cn. Now we will go to understand how the function of the capacitance will occur when we used a battery and a galvanometer connected in series with a capacitor. First, take this case where a battery has been used and a galvanometer has been used in series, and a switch and as a cutting path. Consider a circuit set up like this. At one side, what will happen when the switch is closed? So you have to ensure from these four situation which is the ideal for this case. First, say that how a steady reading, show a reading of 0, flick back and forth, and flick one side and come to back 0. What happened if you connect this switch? There will be no current flow. That means no deflection will be occur in the galvanometer. So the second condition will be stands, show a reading of 0. Now in next case, let's place a large metal plate at each of the connectors a few millimeters apart. What will happen? This will happen actually placing a capacitor over here in the circuit break area. And now if you close the switch, what will happen? Show a steady reading. Is will it actually steady current will not flow, because this is not a static resistance, because it is a capacitor. So what condition will be correct? Flick one side and come back to 0. That means if you connect the switch, the capacitor will start to get charge and a deflection will occur in the galvanometer. And when the capacitor is equal to capacitor potential is equal to the battery potential, there will be no charging current flow. So the galvanometer will get no deflection. So first, when it is charging, it is flick one side and come back to 0 when charge is completed. Let's extend by this, placing another galvanometer of the capacitor and using a two-way switch, which is two moments, two place for P and O. What will happen when the switch is connected to P? If a switch is connected to P, what will happen? The capacitor will get taking charge. It will start taking charge. Okay. So find out which is the condition is correct. Neither moves, no. Both flick briefly to the left, maybe not. Both flick briefly to the right, maybe not, because we have to ensure what will happen both side of the plate, how current will flow both side of the plate of the capacitor. So they will flick in opposite direction. DIS means you assume that the direction, they will write it in short. They flick in opposite direction, because maybe when you connect to the switch at P, that means the electron flow from here to this path. So first this galvanometer showing a deflection of right side, and this galvanometer showing a deflection of left side. So that is why they says they flick in opposite direction. After moving to P, now switch is moved to O. So what will happen when you connect the switch to O? The capacitor will start discharged. So find the situation which is correct. Neither moves, no. Both flick left, no. Both flick briefly to right, no. They flick in opposite direction, yes. But in first case, in that case, this meter will go at right and this meter go at left. But when you connect the O, switch connected to O, then this meter, its capacitor starts discharge. That means the current flow will be in opposite direction. So this meter will go, this bottom side of galvanometer will deflect at right side, and this meter will go deflect at left side. Instead of moving P the first time, if the switch is first moved to 0, that means before charge you are going to discharge it first, what will happen? Neither moves, they flick briefly to left or right or opposite. Now in that case, before charging, if you start to discharge, neither moves, that situation will stands. The behavior of the emitter needles in the previous experiment suggests that the current flow firstly one way, then the other, as the switch is moved from P to 0. This suggests, what suggests? Find out of these four comments. Equal amounts of charge flows of one plate to another, more charge flows of plate A to A than the B, more charge flows of B than A, no charge will flow at all. What will correct? The first one will correct. Equal amount of charge flows of one plate to another plate. That is the main functionality of a capacitor. When you connect a capacitor with a source in series, this is the another illustration of charging and discharging. We say that the capacitor is charged up when connected to P and discharged when connected to 0, O. This is the charging scenario. The plate of the capacitor attached to the negative terminal of the battery accepts the electron that the battery is producing, and they have illustrated both the conditions. By these conditions you will again ensure this circuitry. If it will be better if you have a multimeter and capacitor and battery in your home. Definitely it will be possible at our laboratory, college laboratory, but in this COVID situation it may not be possible. So you have to ensure by your accessories in the home. This is again how you will get ensured charging and discharging behavior of the capacitor. Here you have a battery and light bulb, maybe it will be LED. If they are connected in series, what will happen to the bulb? It will glow never? No. It will glow as long the battery is connected? No, because this is not a resistance. Though, so the action is not continuous. It will first glow. That means in the bracket you can assume when the capacitor, how long the capacitor is charging, the bulb is glow and keep dimming at finally turn off when the capacitor gets full charged. The current will off. So the bulb will off. Now in the discharge scenario, what will happen? You replace the battery by a short circuit. If you have removed the battery and place with the where current will flow from one plate to another plate to the capacitor, and bulb will light initially when the discharge will start, and until the discharge will finished the bulb will glow, and when the discharge is complete bulb will go off.
Hello student, now here I will like to add a short video on how to measure the capacitors through a multimeter. In my home I have my own multimeter and some few capacitors I will find for you. So with this limited accessories I like to show you how to measure a capacitor. Out of this capacitor, two are electrolyte. One is having a value of 330 microfarad 450 volt with a defined negative polarity, that means a polarized electrolyte capacitor. Another one is also a 220 microfarad 400 volt electrolyte capacitor, also again demarcated with negative polarity. And another, these three are all identical value. You will see that is a 0.22 microfarad. See, this is a 0.22 microfarad. Micro symbol is before the 22, so it will taken as a 0.22 microfarad, 2000 volt. This is a special purpose polyester non-polarized capacitor. This is also the same. So I will show you when you measure the single capacitor how the value will display in the multimeter, and when you measure this combined of two, how will the value is get doubled. So let's start. Now see, after getting a power on, I should select this microfarad value position with this selecting knob. There will be 2000 microfarad already written. That means this multimeter can capable to measure up to 2000 microfarad, not more than that. Now see, the multimeter has been selected at microfarad mode. It's 2000 microfarad, and now the display is 00. And when we measure any electrolyte capacitor, first we will have to discharge it by a short circuiting between two leads, and then connect your probe. Wait for some minutes because the multimeter has a auto ranging. For 220 microfarad it will show 190.5. that means capacitor is almost 90% get okay according to the specified value of 220 microfarad. Now if we place it in opposite polarity, first it will discharge, then see, observe the multimeter readings. And again develop the value. It will be furthermore precised when you place your multimeter in resistance mode. Make it in a 20 kilo ohms resistance mode. First discharge it. As per our previous lesson, we will learn that fast capacitor discharge and then act as a open circuit. So now we connect a empty capacitor to get charged. It will clearly developing the charge and then act as a open circuit. So this is your dV by dt. And when you again connecting it opposite polarity. First it will get discharged, acting as a short circuit. Now it's discharging and again charging. Clear? And there is another electrolyte capacitor, 330 microfarad. First discharge it and then charge it in forward polarity. Let's see the value. Sorry, I selected in the wrong area. This is your capacitance mode. Again discharge it, because firstly I have connected in diode mode, so maybe it gets charged first. Now the value the multimeter has tell us that a 292 mu f microfarad for 330 microfarad capacitor. Now we'll again test it in resistance mode, once in forward and another in backward. It's still charging. It's take its more time to charge rather than 220 to 330. Now its charge is complete, no current will flow. Again connect it in reverse polarity. It's discharging now, acting as a short circuit. In resistance mode, 00 means it will short circuited between these two probe. Now it's charging again. After charging, it will behave as a open circuit. Clear? So as we already learned in the previous lesson, here we will confirm it. And this is a non-polar capacitor. This is also a non-polar capacitor. This capacitor having a value of 22 microfarad, sorry, 0.22 microfarad, because the micro symbol is written behind the numerical value of 22. So it will be taken as a 0.22 microfarad, or if it is if you can convert it nanofarad, then it will be a 220 nanofarad. So place your selector again in capacitor mode. Always remember, when you measure, don't touch the metal part of your probe by the finger, and place your capacitor in a insulating material. This is also insulating material. This is a rubber. So make this habit. For 220 NF, our multimeter shows that 226 NF. That means the capacitor is okay. Now we will go to measure the parallel network of this one. Both are this 0.22 or 22 NF. So our combined result will come 0.22 NF into 2. That means 0.44 NF. So let's see what multimeter says. Multimeter says this is 437.5 nanofarad instead of 440 nanofarad. So this phenomenon also has been proved, that when the capacitors are connected as parallel, the value will be doubled or added.
Now we'll go to enter in the quiz part, where the first question is 33 microfarad capacitor are connected in series with each other. What will be the combined capacitance in this network in farad, basically in microfarad? So the main value is 33 microfarad. So we'll find here how to find here to get this value. So both are 33 microfarad. That means you have to divide it by 2, because both are identical in value, both are 33. So definitely we will get 16.5 microfarad. Okay, so we should select here. Now the second question is, calculate the total capacitance in this collection of capacitors measured between the two wires, that means here to here. So for your better understanding, I already make a design, easiest design, simplest design of this three capacitors network, where C1 and C2, these two connected in parallel and again connected with C3 in series. So we have to find the effective capacitance from this point to this point. So first you will need to calculate the combination value of C1 C2, which was 133, and again you have to calculate the value in C with the C3, which is 10 microfarad. So you will need to do in this way, 1 by 133 and then 1 by 10 to the power 6, because this is in the C3 in microfarad, you have to make it, this one is picofarad. Then do this one, after that you will get so after get it calculated, you will give that figure 133. This figure will be divided by this one, and you will find that 132.998 will be your microfarad value, total resistance value, sorry, picofarad value, this one. So because we already make it in picofarad and 133 also picofarad, so your total resistance value will come in picofarad. So then this fourth option will be your answer. Now number 3 question, where a 10 microfarad capacitor is charged to a voltage of 20 volts, how many coulombs of electric charge are stored in this capacitor? You have given a 10 microfarad capacitor, it has been charged with a voltage potential of 20 volts. So here you will need to apply this equation. Q is equal to C into V. C is your capacitance value. If you use your C in farad and V in voltage, then you will get the coulomb value in a unit value. So, and if you use your capacitance value is microfarad, then your coulomb will be come in microcoulomb. If your capacitance value is picofarad, then picocoulomb, according like that. So here Q is equal to C, capacitor value is 10 micro and voltage 20, so you will get 200 micro coulomb. Let's see the option. Yes, here it is 200 microcoulomb of charge. You will select this option. Now question number 4, where you have been asked that two 470 microfarad connected in series and the subject to a total applied voltage that change at a rate of 200 volts per second. So here your C value is get divided by 2, that means half of 470 microfarad, and the application is dedicated for AC application where the voltage changes in respect to time across these value of capacitors. So your dV will be 200 volt and your dt will be unit time of second, 1 second. Now let's come to the question number 4, where you have been given two 470 capacitor connected in series, and across this capacitor you have applied a voltage that voltage has changes 200 volt in amplitude per second. That means clearly you will understand that is the AC application scenario where two 470 microfarad connected in series. So first we will get the effective capacitance value, 470 divided by 2, that is 235 microfarad. Okay, so write down here 235 microfarad. You will have to apply this equation where I have been calculated after multiplied C with the dV by dt. So here 235 microfarad is equal to your C. We have to find the I. To 35 microfarad, and your dV is 200, and what is dt? dt is 200 volt change per second, that means 1 second. Okay, so from this equation we will get 235 into 200. Make the calculation. We will get 47,000 microampere. So it is a large number. Further you can write it 47 milliampere. So you have to select the first option. Now the fifth question is two capacitors, 470 same values of capacitors connected in parallel and subjected to the total applied voltage that changes at same rate 200 volt per second. So what will be the total circuit current? First we will find what is our total C. 470 into 2, in this case of parallel connection, so we'll get total C is 940 microfarad. 940 microfarad, and again our dV is 200 and dt is 1 second. 940 into 200. Make the calculation. You will get 1,88,000 microampere. 1,88,000 microamps. Make a conversion to the milliampere. So clearly from here you will write 88 mA. Find your option for fifth question. The third option will be the correct answer. Now click at submit. See, this for question number 3 we have already selected find our value of 200 microcoulomb, but somehow it has been changed. So correct it at 200 microampere. Let's find again this one. We have already our answer here, 200 microcoulomb. So after correction again click submit. Now I will get 1 2 3 4 5 and 4 and 5. All the 5 questions are find correct by the site administrator. Now if you want, you will go through this reference book where a link has been provided, NPTEL notes. So for today, as per today, our familiarization with condenser or capacitors has been completed. So make a practice like what I have been described to you, and if you have any question furthermore verification details, then ask when our college has been started. Thank you.